On October 1st, 2025, Harley-Davidson made the most important leadership change in their 120-year history. The CEO who alienated their core customer base, watched sales collapse, and nearly destroyed the brand is finally gone. Jochen Zeitz, the executive who pushed diversity quotas while motorcycle sales plummeted, has been replaced by Artie Starrs. The question every Harley rider wants answered is simple. Can new leadership save this dying American icon? Or is it already too late? After 5 years of watching Zeitz systematically dismantle everything that made Harley-Davidson legendary, we finally have a chance for real change. But there's a problem nobody's talking about. The new CEO has absolutely zero motorcycle industry experience. Today, I'm breaking down exactly what happened, why Zeitz had to go, and whether Harley can possibly recover from the disaster he created. Before I reveal the shocking truth about Harley's new leadership, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because what's happening at Harley right now will determine the future of American motorcycling, and you need to understand what's really going on behind the corporate PR spin. Let's start with what Jochen Zeitz did to Harley-Davidson over the past 5 years, because the damage is almost impossible to comprehend. Zeitz took over as CEO in February 2020, right as the pandemic hit. He came from the fashion industry, where he'd led Puma, and he brought a luxury brand mindset to a company that built its reputation on blue-collar American rebellion. His strategy was called the Hardwire, and it was supposed to save Harley by making them exclusive, expensive, and focused on premium positioning. In reality, it was a blueprint for alienating Harley's core customer base while chasing buyers who were never going to buy motorcycles anyway. Under Zeitz's leadership, sales collapsed. Worldwide motorcycle shipments dropped from 217,000 units in 2019 to just 148,000 in 2024. That's a 32% decline in just 5 years. Revenue fell from $5.36 billion in 2019 to $4.8 billion in 2024. But here's what really destroyed Harley. It wasn't just bad sales numbers. It was the complete betrayal of everything the brand represented. Zeitz eliminated dealer territories and forced consolidation, destroying small family-owned dealerships that had represented Harley for generations. He discontinued popular models like the Dyna platform that riders loved. He raised prices aggressively while quality declined. Most catastrophically, he embraced corporate DEI initiatives that directly contradicted Harley's rebel brand identity. The company that once represented freedom and individualism became just another corporate entity, pushing diversity quotas and social justice messaging. The result was predictable. Traditional Harley riders felt abandoned. New buyers didn't materialize. The brand became culturally irrelevant, and the financial collapse accelerated. Here's what mainstream media won't tell you. Harley's collapse wasn't just about bad business decisions. It was about ideological capture that alienated the very people who made Harley legendary. Under Zeitz, Harley-Davidson embraced DEI initiatives that would have been unthinkable just a few years earlier. They implemented diversity hiring quotas. They created supplier diversity programs that prioritized identity over capability. They sponsored pride events and social justice causes. This might work for tech companies in Silicon Valley. It's suicide for a brand built on working-class rebellion and traditional American values. In July 2024, conservative activist Robbie Starbuck exposed the extent of Harley's DEI programming. The backlash was immediate and massive. Harley riders posted videos destroying their motorcycles. Dealers reported customers refusing to buy new bikes. The brand that represented freedom and individualism had become just another woke corporation. The financial impact was devastating. In the quarter following the DEI controversy, Harley's revenue dropped 19%. The company lost $85 million. Stock prices collapsed. Dealers reported inventory piling up with no buyer. Faced with a customer revolt and financial crisis, Harley had no choice. In August 2024, they announced they were ending their DEI initiatives. They disbanded the Diversity Council. They stopped sponsoring social events. They committed to returning to their core values. But the damage was done. Trust had been destroyed. The brand had been compromised, and sales continued falling even after the DEI programs ended. This is what happens when executives prioritize ideology over customers, when they chase approval from people who will never buy their products while alienating the people who built their brand. Zeitz's DEI disaster proved that Harley's leadership was completely disconnected from their customer base. It revealed a contempt for traditional Harley riders that could not be hidden or denied. Let me show you exactly how bad things got under Zeitz's leadership, because the numbers are absolutely catastrophic. In the second quarter of 2025, just months before Zeitz was finally removed, Harley-Davidson reported revenue of $1.5 billion. That's down 19% from the previous year. The motorcycle division revenue dropped to just $420 million, a brutal 47% decline. The company lost $214 million in the quarter. That's not a typo. $214 million lost in just 3 months. Global motorcycle shipments fell 17% for the full year. Harley sold just 148,862 motorcycles worldwide in 2024. For context, they sold over 260,000 bikes annually in their peak years. The inventory crisis became a nightmare. Over 60,000 new motorcycles sat unsold in dealerships across America. Some bikes had been sitting for nearly 300 days without a single buyer. Dealers were desperate, offering massive discounts and zero down financing. Nothing worked. Tariffs added another $85 million in costs that Harley couldn't pass on to customers without making their already overpriced motorcycles completely unsellable. The stock price told the story most clearly. Harley's stock dropped 35% from September 2024 through Zeitz's departure. Billions in market value simply evaporated as investors realized the company had no path to recovery under existing leadership. Credit rating agencies started questioning Harley's ability to service their debt. Analysts openly discussed bankruptcy scenarios. This wasn't just a rough patch. This was an existential crisis for one of America's most iconic brands. On October 1st, 2025, Artie Starrs officially took over as Harley-Davidson's president and CEO. The question every Harley rider is asking: who is this guy, and can he possibly fix this disaster? Here's what we know. Starrs comes from Topgolf, where he served as CEO and guided that company through significant growth. Before Topgolf, he held executive positions at Best Buy and Home Depot. He's clearly a capable business executive with a track record of operational success. But here's the problem that nobody wants to acknowledge. Artie Starrs has zero motorcycle industry experience. He's never worked at a motorcycle company. He's never been involved in power sports. As far as anyone knows, he's not even particularly passionate about motorcycles. Harley just replaced a fashion industry executive with a golf entertainment executive. They went from one CEO with no motorcycle background to another CEO with no motorcycle background. This is not inspiring confidence. The official line from Harley is that Starrs brings proven leadership in consumer-focused businesses and experience driving operational excellence. That's corporate speak for he knows how to cut costs and manage business operation. What Harley needs isn't just operational efficiency. They need someone who understands motorcycle culture, someone who can reconnect with alienated riders, someone who can restore the brand's rebel identity while building better motorcycles. Can a golf executive do that? We're about to find out. If Artie Starrs is going to save Harley-Davidson, here's exactly what he needs to do, and he needs to do it fast. First, completely abandon the luxury positioning strategy that Zeitz pursued. Harley tried to become a premium brand for wealthy buyers and failed catastrophically. They need to return to their roots as the motorcycle company for working class Americans who love to ride. This means lowering prices, not raising them. It means bringing back discontinued models that riders actually want. It means making motorcycles accessible instead of exclusive. Second, rebuild relationships with dealers. Zeitz's consolidation strategy destroyed family-owned dealerships and concentrated ownership in corporate hands. These dealers are the front line of Harley's business, and they've been beaten down by years of bad leadership and unsellable inventory. Starrs needs to support dealers financially, reduce their inventory burden, and give them reasons to believe in Harley's future. Without healthy dealers, Harley cannot recover. Third, completely reject any return to DEI initiatives or woke corporate policies. The DEI disaster proved that Harley's customers will not tolerate ideology being prioritized over products. Starrs needs to make it absolutely clear that Harley is returning to its core values and will not be captured by political activism again. Fourth, fix the fundamental product problems. Harley's motorcycles have become overweight, overpriced, and overcomplicated. Modern Harleys cost too much and offer too little compared to competitors. They need to build better motorcycles at lower prices, period. Fifth, address the demographic crisis honestly. Harley's core customer base is aging out, and younger riders aren't replacing them because Harleys are too expensive. Starrs needs entry-level products that new riders can afford and upgrade from. Finally, restore the brand's cultural relevance. Harley used to represent rebellion, freedom, and American authenticity. Under Zeitz, it became just another corporate brand. Starrs needs to make Harley cool again, which means understanding what made it cool in the first place. Here's the brutal truth. Harley-Davidson's problems run so deep that even perfect execution from new leadership might not be enough to save them. The demographic crisis is real and accelerating. Harley's core customers are in their 50s and 60s. When they stop riding, who replaces them? Younger riders can't afford $25,000 touring bikes, and they don't want them anyway. The competition has become devastating. Indian Motorcycle offers better value in the cruiser segment. BMW dominates touring. Japanese manufacturers provide superior reliability at lower prices. Harley's traditional advantages have evaporated. The cultural damage from the Zeitz era may be permanent. Many traditional Harley riders now view the brand with contempt. They'll never buy another Harley, no matter who's CEO. That lost generation of customers cannot be recovered. The inventory crisis means dealers are drowning. Even if Harley builds better products tomorrow, dealers still have tens of thousands of unsellable current model bikes, eating up floor plan financing. This creates a massive cash flow crisis that limits investment in new products. The tariff situation is a time bomb. Harley imports components globally and faces massive tariff costs that competitors don't bear. This makes their motorcycles less competitive on price, while their manufacturing costs increase. Most concerning is the financial situation. Harley is burning cash, losing money, and facing a contracting market. They might not have enough time or resources to execute a turnaround, even if they know exactly what to do. So where does that leave Harley-Davidson under new leadership? The honest answer is uncertain, with both reasons for hope and serious causes for concern. The good news, Zeitz is gone. Whatever Starrs does, it can't be worse than the disaster of the past 5 years. Simply not actively destroying the brand is an improvement. Dealers are cautiously optimistic. Early reports suggest they're hopeful that new leadership understands their concerns and is willing to support them. This is crucial for any recovery. The brand still has incredible recognition and emotional power. Harley-Davidson means something to millions of people worldwide. That cultural capital is valuable if leadership can figure out how to leverage it properly. But the bad news is equally compelling. Starrs has no motorcycle experience and is walking into an absolute disaster. The learning curve is steep, and Harley doesn't have time for extended trial and error. The fundamental problems haven't been solved. Overpriced motorcycles, aging demographics, and devastating competition aren't fixed by changing CEOs. These require structural changes that take years to implement. The market is contracting. Overall, motorcycle sales are down industry-wide. Harley needs to gain market share in a shrinking market, which is the hardest possible business challenge. Most importantly, trust has been destroyed. Many riders who once loved Harley now actively despise the brand. Rebuilding that emotional connection requires more than good intention. It requires products, actions, and leadership that prove Harley deserves another chance. Now I want to hear from you, because this is about more than just one company. This is about whether American manufacturing can survive, whether iconic brands can recover from ideological capture, and whether new leadership can fix disasters created by their predecessors. Do you think Artie Starrs can save Harley-Davidson? Or is the damage from the Zeitz era too severe to overcome? Are you a Harley rider who feels betrayed by the past 5 years? Or are you willing to give new leadership a chance to prove themselves? What would it take for you to buy a Harley again? Or have they lost you forever? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that subscribe button for more honest analysis of what's really happening in the motorcycle industry. And remember, the best companies are the ones that serve their customers instead of lecturing them. The fate of Harley-Davidson will be decided in the next 12 months. Make sure you're here to see how it plays out.